Good morning, I am WaywornWyrm, and welcome to my channel. And welcome to a new episode of the Monster Manual Backward. Today, it's all about the felines in Appendix A. Kicking off our episode about felines, we start with the cat. The cat is a tiny beast, unaligned, armor class 12, 2 hit points, that'd be 1d4, a speed of 40 feet, and a climb speed of 30 feet. Has 3 strength, 15 dex, 10 con, 3 intelligence, 12 wisdom, 7 charisma. Gets a +3 to perception and a +4 to stealth. That has a passive perception of 13. It speaks no language, is challenge rating 0. Has keen smell. The cat has advantage on perception checks that rely on smell. And its action is Claws, a melee weapon attack that is +0 to hit, reach of 5 feet, 1 target, and does 1 point of slashing damage. Keep in mind that is not you roll, it just does a flat 1 point. So, how would I use cats? Familiars. That's the #1 way a cat would enter any of my games, is I have a character who has a familiar and decides they want their familiar to at least sometimes be a cat. The other way that it might be used is as a wild shape or a polymorph. This is something where a character wants to get information from something, from somewhere or someone, and wants to infiltrate to do so, and a cat will hopefully go by without notice. I'm not gonna have them ever fight a cat. Yeah, no. I don't play with players who would want to, and I won't give them a chance where they have to. Yeah. So if I need the stats for a cat, it's because there is a familiar, or someone wants to wild shape and or polymorph into a cat. That's it. Yeah, moving on. Next on our list of felines is the lion. I know the hyena is in here, and hyenas are closer to cats than dogs, but I'm going to do hyenas separately, so the lion. Lions are large beasts that are unaligned, an armor class of 12, 26 hit points, that would be 4d10 plus 4, with a speed of 50 feet, which makes them fast. Strength of 17, a dex of 15, a con of 13, an intelligence of 3, a wisdom of 12, and a charisma of 8. They have +3 to perception and +6 to stealth, with a passive perception of 13, speak no languages, and have a challenge rating of 1. Lions have keen smell. The lion has advantage on perception checks that rely on smell. Pack tactics. The lion has advantage on an attack roll against a creature if at least one of the lion's allies is within 5 feet of the creature and the ally isn't incapacitated. Again, pack tactics. I love it. Pounce. If the lion moves at least 20 feet straight towards a creature and then hits with a claw attack on the same turn, the target must succeed on a DC 13 strength saving throw or be knocked prone. If the target is prone, the lion can take 1 bite attack against it as a bonus action. Running leap. With a 10-foot running start, the lion can long jump up to 25 feet. And it has actions of bite, which is a melee weapon attack, +5 to hit, reach of 5 feet, 1 target, and it does 1d8 plus 3 piercing. And then there's the claw attack, +5 to hit, reach of 5 feet, 1 target, and it does 1d6 plus 3 slashing. Now, with lions, I would use them for most animals in sort of like a savannah-like setting. With cheetahs, I'd probably up the speed a little bit, maybe take away pack tactics, I don't know. Might just use it as is. If I wanted to do like leopards, I would use the panther, which we're coming to. Just because leopards and panthers are... Well, the panther fits more what I imagine the leopard to be. So... interesting thing about the pounce ability is it says if the target is prone, not if the target is knocked prone. Which means if the lion pounces on a creature that is already prone for some other reason, it still counts. They can still make 1 bite attack against them as a bonus action. So that just makes pounce better. Especially because DC 13 is not that high. Although, on the other hand, if you have a 20 strength, that's going to give you a +5. So you'd have to roll an 8 or higher, which you're going to do 60% of the time. So, I mean, I guess it is a bit on the strong side. Although, if you have a 20 strength, you probably also have proficiency. So, I don't know. The DM screen puts 13 at between easy and moderate difficulty. So, yeah. I feel like 13's on the low side. Yeah, so lions are going to be statistically... That stat block is going to be one of the biggest stat blocks I use in random encounters for savannas. Yeah. Are they strong? Yeah, decently. They're on the stronger side of Appendix A. If you notice with Appendix A, very few things reach or exceed challenge rating 2. So, they're good. There isn't like a giant lion or anything like that, so... it's something that I would use as a random encounter, and that's about it. Interesting thing about the 2 cats we've done so far, the lion and the cat, and we'll see if that holds true for the rest, is they have 3 intelligence, which puts them at the bottom level of what sentient creatures have. So, that's interesting. They're okay, but I wouldn't. Without modification, I would not center an adventure around this stat block. There are plenty of creatures that we're going to get to in later episodes that you can easily center adventures or even campaigns around. Appendix A just doesn't have that. But let us move on. And we move on to the panther. Panthers are medium beasts, unaligned, armor class 12, 3d8 hit points, speed of 50 feet, and a climb speed of 40 feet. Strength of 14, dex of 15, constitution of 10, intelligence 3, there's that 3 intelligence again, wisdom of 14, charisma of 7. They have +4 to perception, +6 to stealth. They have a passive perception of 14. They speak no languages, and their challenge rating 1/4. They have the keen smell, which gives them advantage on perception checks that rely on smell. They have the pounce attack. If the panther moves at least 20 feet straight toward a target, then hits with a claw attack on the same turn, the target must succeed on a DC 12 this time, saving throw, or be knocked prone. If the target is prone, the panther can make one bite attack against it as a bonus action. With the actions of bite, melee weapon attack, +4 to hit, reach of 5 feet, one target, does 1d6 +2 piercing damage. And a claw attack, which is melee weapon attack that is +4 to hit, reach of 5 feet, one target, and it does 1d4 +2 slashing. So, with panthers, I might call them leopards and have them on the savannah, or have them in jungle adventures as random encounters. Yeah, other than that, this is very similar to the lion, and I have very similar things to say about it. That is one of the good and bad things about these themed episodes, is there's a lot of through lines. There's a lot of things that you can say about everything in a theme, which I think is deliberate on the on behalf of wizards. One of the big things to note is the pounce has a 1 less DC, makes it 5% easier. We obviously have less hit points. If I wanted to beef up the panther, which I might, honestly just take its climb speed and throw it on the lion. Maybe take away the pack tactics. I don't know. I'd probably... In my head, panthers are solitary animals, so I probably wouldn't give them other... there probably would be no point in them having pack tactics, so... You know, if it's not going to come into effect and it already has it, why take it away? Sort of thing. That's just one more piece to remember. Yeah, I don't know. I would probably start an encounter with a panther off by it hiding in a tree. At which point I might even give advantage for that. Unless the players are specifically like, we're checking in the trees. And then have it jump down on one of the characters and start mauling them. But with 13 hit points, it's going to be taken out in one round really easily. You could throw a whole bunch of panthers at them. They're going to take it out really easily. 13 hit points fairly early on becomes really easy to do that in one swing. So, and that's what I have to say about a panther. Excuse me. And that kind of holds true for all low hit point melee fighters. Is once they get stuck in to melee combat, they're dead. They're dead almost immediately. There's nothing you can do without giving them like the rogue's cunning action, where it can retreat without getting an attack of opportunity. So it doesn't have to use its action to either disengage or run away. But moving on, and we reach the saber-toothed tiger. A large beast, unaligned, an armor class of 12, 52 hit points, 7d10 plus 14, and a speed of 40 feet. Strength of 18, dexterity of 14, constitution of 15, intelligence of 3. So it looks like the 3 intelligence is a through line. Wisdom of 12, charisma of 8, plus 3 to perception, plus 6 to stealth. Passive perception of 13. No languages, challenge rating 2. They have advantage on perception checks that rely on smell. They have the pounce ability if they move at least 20 feet straight toward a creature and then hit with a claw attack on the same turn. The target must succeed on a DC 14 strength saving throw or be knocked prone. If a target is prone, the tiger can make one bite attack against it as a bonus action. With its actions being bite, melee weapon attack, plus 6 to hit, reach of 5 feet, one target, it does 1d10 plus 5 piercing, and claw, which is melee weapon attack, plus 6 to hit, reach of 5 feet, one target, and it does 2d6 plus 5 slashing damage. Saber-toothed tigers are cool. They are, I believe, the strongest of the cats. Yes, it has the highest challenge rating of all the felines in Appendix A. And I would use them in a battle. As an encounter, maybe instead of like a savanna, on more of a grasslands or plains area, so similar to a lion, but maybe different. Maybe I put them on the same encounter tables as lions. Beyond that, they're with 52 hit points, or if you give them their entire max of 84 hit points, they're going to last probably good 2 or 3 rounds, especially against the low-level party. This could definitely... This is where, like, a low-level adventure, maybe it ends with the climactic battle is against the saber-toothed tiger, and they're trying to retrieve something. Maybe the wizard who kidnapped the princess has a saber-toothed tiger as its pet, or the hunter that tried to kill the saber-toothed tiger has this MacGuffin that they just have to get. So, yeah, that's basically how I'd use a saber-toothed tiger, either as a random encounter or in an adventure. I think it is strong enough to hold its own against low-level parties that I would feel comfortable with an adventure that climaxes with a saber-toothed tiger. But it'd be like a level 1 or level 2 adventure. Once every class has gotten their specialization, saber-toothed tigers become quickly underpowered. So we have one more, and that is just the normal tiger. And the last creature that we're going to deal with is the tiger. It's a large beast, unaligned, armor class of 12, hit points of 37. That's going to be 5d10 plus 10, and a speed of 40 feet. 17 strength, 15 dexterity, 14 constitution, 3 intelligence, 12 wisdom, and 8 charisma. It has a plus 3 perception, plus 6 stealth. It has dark vision out to 60 feet, which is new for the felines, and a passive perception of 13, no languages, challenge rating 1. It also has keen smell, which gives it advantage on perception checks that rely on smell, and pounce, with a DC of 13. I'm not going to read it again. Other than the DC of 13, it reads the exact same as all of the other pounces we've seen. Its 2 actions are Bite, melee weapon attack, plus 5 to hit, doing 1d10 plus 3 piercing, and Claw, melee weapon attack, plus 5 to hit, doing 1d8 plus 3 slashing, which is in the higher range of Bite and Claw. With the Dark Vision, they'll be fun for like a night attack. One of the big issues that a lot of people have with 5th edition is everyone and their grandma gets Dark Vision. Especially in the player's handbook, elves, dwarves, tieflings, half-orcs, I think half-elves, everyone but humans, halflings, and dragonborn get Dark Vision. And I believe that mostly continues through, like, Volo's Guide. Yeah, just when they took low light vision and dark vision from former editions and combined them just into dark vision, everybody gets dark vision. So the fighting in the darkness isn't a really big thing anymore, which kind of sucks because that's how I'd use a tiger. Because in the darkness, if you're swinging at a tiger with disadvantage, well, it can hit you just normally. Or maybe even with advantage because you can't see it. That's going to make the tiger a lot harder. Which you might need with 37 or up to 60 hit points. Other than that, yeah, it's going to go on a random encounter table, probably a jungle. Yeah. I think tigers, like lions, are not powerful enough to hang an adventure around, but they make a really good random encounter. So, yeah, that is everything on the tiger. Thank you so much for watching the latest episode of A Monster Manual Backward. Make sure to tune in tomorrow for an episode of the Horde of the Dragon Queen. It's going to be episode 15. Thank you.